Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. On today's program, we're going to be spending some time with some folks with the Suffolk Public Library talking about their IconiCon event, the 5th annual edition of that particular program, and also March 2020, big month at the Suffolk Public Library, Women's History Month. A lot of great events and activities that are taking place to tie in that theme and bring out the history of women, both in the United States and across the world. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined now by two special guests from our Suffolk Public Library to talk about an event. It's the 5th annual IconiCon coming up very shortly, and we're going to highlight all the great things that are happening. Yes, some returning fan favorites, but also some new twists there, and also a lot of great contests, and just a whole heck of a lot of fun that's going to be taking place again at the North Suffolk Library. That'll be on March 28th from 10 until 4. And to talk about this great event, we have Corey Bland, who is a youth and Family Services Library Coordinator. And also with the same title, we have Natalie Cifuentes to join us as well. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
So, 5th annual IconiCon. Now you think, okay, we've done this 4 times before, and we talked about it, but people may be watching who maybe are not familiar with what we're talking about. So either one of you want to jump in to kind of tell us about what IconiCon is all about?
Sure. So IconiCon is a celebration of different fandoms. So if you like science fiction, fantasy, horror, comics, anime, we'll have a little bit of all of that. Gaming, so we try to like represent all the different fandoms with different activities and events. So we have a lot of local vendors, from comic book creators to craft people that create different sorts of crafts, we even have like a LARPing group that they do live action role playing that like is going to come. So like a lot of different exciting things, story times for kids, a variety of different contests like art contests, gaming contests, a cosplay contest. So just all sorts of fun stuff for all ages.
So really it's more of a question of what's not there rather than what is, because you kind of covered it all. I mean,
we try.
I'm just kidding. But as far as what's new this year, now every year y'all try to build on past successes, and it's always been a success. A lot of great people coming out from all over Hampton Roads. It's not just a Suffolk event. Free and open to the public, correct?
Yes.
Right, so everybody can participate there. But what's going to be new? What's new on the docket this year specifically?
One of the big new things is our cosplay cafe that we're doing, and Natalie can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, our cosplay cafe is a twist on a maid cafe, which is something from like anime fandoms, manga fandoms, from Japanese culture, which it's really popular right now.
Right.
But instead of only dressing up as maids, people can participate and dress up as any character from any fandom, and they're gonna make fun little like desserts, and they're gonna be serving like tea and water and coffee and things like that. And it is registration day of.
Okay.
There is limited space,
Right.
but it should be really fun. We're really excited about that one.
Any cost to participate? I know you mentioned
No,
day of
it's
registration.
free.
No, okay. So
Free.
again, you have
Everything's
limited
free.
space for that. So if people want to get there early, it's probably best to do that and get in line for that to get that squared away.
Yep.
So they're on the docket for that. So looking forward to Cosplay Cafe, but also with the cosplay theme, and let's talk a little bit about what that is for those who aren't familiar with the term, but there's a contest that's involved with that as well.
Yes, so cosplay, it's a shortened word of costume play. So basically it's for people like if you want to like dress up like as your favorite superhero or your favorite anime character, favorite Star Wars character, anything like that.
Right.
And so we have like a contest based on who has the coolest contest or coolest costume.
Right.
So this year we're doing it a little differently. We're splitting it into 2 contests. We're going to have one for the children from 0 to 12, and we're going to have that one earlier in the day at 1 o'clock, and then at 3 we're going to have one for 13 and up. So that will be for like teenagers and adults. So we're doing that a little differently this year. So like if you have younger kids,
Yes.
you can come early in the day, or you don't have to wait all day
Sure.
to do the contest.
Got it. Now with if somebody's of course passing by North Suffolk Library at that particular day, you know, there's going to be a lot of interesting folks coming in and out in different attire. But have either one of you, just throwing this out there for a question, with someone shows up to the event and you're, you know, obviously when we're talking about IconiCon, it's covering such a wide genre and different things. You're like, I have no clue who you are or what you're from. You ever had that happen? That somebody has this really obscure thing that they've got their little niche right there. They show up and of course they're all into it. They got the great costume, but you're like, I have no clue what it is. Has that happened?
That has.
Yeah, all the time.
Just wondering, you know.
Yeah,
I've been that person. I was that person 2 years ago.
And what were you that everybody was like, what are you?
I
so to
was
speak?
one of the Planeteers from Captain Planet,
Okay.
and there was like only 2 people throughout the day that like actually recognized me. So
You took a lot of pride in that, I'm sure,
yeah,
right?
yeah, so
Just
I
to
was
be
very
that
happy.
unique, right? Gotcha. And Natalie, you were going to say?
I did some like very obscure. I wasn't a character in particular.
Right.
I made my face like a comic character, so it had like pixelated and like was kind of like a cartoon.
Yeah.
But nobody had any idea what I was, and I was like, I'm just a generic like comic character.
Got
so
it, got it.
That was really fun.
Got it. So, I mean, like you say, there's certain people, you know a stormtrooper when you see a stormtrooper.
Yep.
There's certain other characters that or areas that jump out that everybody can identify. But being unique like that, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And again, these events kind of bring that out for the fact that everybody has their favorite, and it's a way to kind of bring that into the thing and kind of present it to everyone in that sense. Starts early in the morning. Everything gets kicked off. Now, some of it, at least in past memory, has been both inside, kind of when you walk in the library right there, and also outside as well. Are y'all going to be set up that way again this year?
Yes, for the most part, most of the activities will be inside, but there will be a couple things outside. We'll have the adult cosplay contest, the later one. That one's going to be outside. We're going to have karaoke outside, and we're also, since we have like 2 food trucks that are going to be there, we're going to have like a lunch area outside. And also the Boy Scouts, they're going to be there, and they're going to be doing some outdoor stuff as well. So
Very good, very good. Now, as far as with just some of the events and looking at the schedule, and again, it's a pretty in-depth one, and I suggest you definitely go to their website, check it out. We'll have that URL up on the screen. You can kind of pick and play and figure out when you want to go there. If not, maybe you want to spend the entire day, which is also welcome. You have karaoke, you have a Baby Yoda scavenger hunt, which I think is kind of cool. Lego Users Group, again, that's another way to bring in another element there. And again, that's really for kids of all ages, because Legos aren't just for little kids, certainly anymore, with some of the things I think you can do with that. But the droid builders, explain to me what's going on there.
So it's a local group that builds different robots, specifically robots from Star Wars, the droids. They build like a little R2-D2, BB-8, different robots like that,
Right.
and they're like fully functional robots that like can walk around and stuff. So it's like pretty cool seeing that stuff.
So again, you have plenty of activities going on throughout the day. As far as the contest, you mentioned the 2 cosplay contests. Are there any other contests? And actually, there is one, the artwork. And that's actually, registration is going on now for that, and that's broken up into multiple different divisions based on age. So let's talk a little bit about that and how people can participate.
Yeah, so so we've split it into 4 different age categories. There will be a kid category for, 12 and under. There will be 13 to 16, and then 16 to 18, and then 19 plus. So kids, tweens, teens, and adults. And then we have a 5th winner. So we'll have a winner for each category. And then we'll also have a 5th winner that is like the fan favorite.
Got it.
So basically people will be able to come in and see all the art, and then they can vote which they think is the best piece overall. And then that will be our 5th winner.
Is there any limitation on what form that art can take, or is it kind of...
It's pretty much all 2D art. It can be done traditionally with pencil, marker, crayon, or it could be done digitally. We've had a lot of digital entries in the past.
Gotcha.
The size doesn't matter. We've had a lot of small ones, like the size of a photo, to like some that are like giant mural size. So like, so pretty much anything goes with that. So we just want people to like express their creativity and create cool art. So.
And how can people register?
So with that, our contest application is both on our website, or they could come into the library and get the application, and then they will return the application with their art to any of the locations, North Suffolk, Morgan, and Chuckatuck.
Got it. And again, and you have a trivia contest the day of as well, and that's day of registration, I believe, need to be on site for that. So
Yes.
How wide of a spectrum is that going to be, or is it going to be kind of targeted?
It's going to be a mix of gaming, comic, anime questions. So we're going to try and cover a little bit of all the different fandoms with the questions.
Now, would that be broken up into age divisions as well, or is it kind of...
I don't think
No,
so.
that is all ages.
Everybody's in it.
Yeah, all ages. You can enter
You'd be
that.
surprised how much the younger
I was
kids
going to say,
actually,
And I would think they may be sort of the favorites, so to speak,
Yeah.
to win the competition, just given knowledge. We get older, our heads get full of all kind of other stuff. It kind of muddles the answer sometimes, as we all know that tends to happen from. And flash panels, that's something I believe that's new this year as well. So talk a little bit about what a flash panel is and how the event event's going to be constructed?
Yeah, so it's actually an idea we got from the Virginia Library Association convention that we went to in the fall, and because we only have 4 slots for panels, we thought a great way to include more was to have those flash panels. So it's only about 7 minutes long, and people from the community, most of them are already vendors actually, they are going to be talking about subjects that they're passionate about in fandom. So someone's talking about Star Wars, we have someone talking about dragons, and so it should be really fun. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good deal. Now, you mentioned vendors. We have 2 food vendors that are signed up already to participate, so we want to give out their names, certainly, and help thank them for participating and making the event kind of a little deeper there.
Yeah, the first one is La Cucina de Sofia. They are an Italian food truck, and then the other one is Chesapeake Concessions. They do a variety of different things. One of their main things that they were advertising is that they do a variety of grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, so a lot of options with them. They also do like some vegan stuff as well.
Got it. So again, something to look forward to kind of get you through the day. Get a little weak at one point, get a little food in you, and then pep yourself up and plow on through. Vendors as well, as far as there's going to be people that have items for sale as well that'll be there. How many vendors are we talking about approximately?
is it 30?
30.
Holy cow.
Wow.
30 plus,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I was thinking we got about 5 or 6. Nope.
No,
I was wrong. So.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, they're going to be inside the library. We're kind of right when you come in at North Suffolk,
Yes.
as far as
Yes.
arranged up in there. And again, they'll have items for sale, items for display. Again, great conversation as well. If people want to find out more information about what they offer, or just talk about it as far as what their particular genre, as far as how they're kind of approaching IconiCon. A great way to kind of mix and mingle with people throughout the Hampton Roads community, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. So again, the event is going to come up on Saturday, March the 28th at the North Suffolk Library from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. No cost for admission, right?
Nope, it's all
Right.
free.
That's the best thing. And again, a lot of activities and things taking place. We talked about the art contest, which you could register for online, and some of the other events you have to register day of.
Yes.
So again, we've got to remember, get there early, get yourself in for some of the contests and things that are going to be happening there. We have about a minute or so left, so I want to give you both an opportunity, a chance to kind of get a little plug in there for IconiCon to encourage people to come out who maybe have not come before. Corey, I'll start with you.
So I would say if you haven't come before, it's just a cool experience just seeing all the people all the different vendors and all the people in costume. A lot of people, they put so much work into their costumes. It's really amazing stuff. And the vendors, they have so many different cool, amazing things that they're selling. So even if you don't buy anything, it's just really cool just to look at some of the stuff that they have that they create.
Natalie?
I just think it's a great place where people can come speak to like-minded people. With the panels, for example, we have women in fandoms, we have a writer's panel, we have a professor from CNU talking about Captain America, and it's just great to be surrounded by people that, love the same things
Yes.
you do as much as you love it, so it's really fun.
Good deal. Looking forward to it. Saturday, March the 28th, North Suffolk Library, IconiCon, the 5th annual edition. Something you definitely want to check out. Thank you both for joining us to talk about this great topic, cool event.
Thank you.
And we're going to have more on the scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene. Natalie joins us again for another segment, and we're joined also by Angie Sumner, who is the Marketing and Community Relations Coordinator with Suffolk Public Library. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. March, very big month for the Suffolk Public Library. It is Women's History Month, and a lot of great events and tie-ins with some programs that y'all have going on throughout the year. A great way to bring it there. The library loves to do themes. That's one thing, if you haven't noticed, they really love to do to connect things and really build on things and really make it a great community event. And I think the fact that y'all have so many different offerings for Women's History Month, I think is a great way to talk about it. So let's kick off with some of the events that you have going on. The Preschool Fridays presents Women in History. So if you talk a little bit about that, and again, I know we know preschool, but let's confirm what the ages are we're looking for that particular event.
Preschool is 5 and under.
Okay.
Yes, and you can bring your child in. We're going to be talking about some women in history, doing little activities. So, for example, I'm covering Frida Kahlo, and I'm going to have the children do self-portraits. And I'm doing the same things for the She Did What, which is a K through 5th program, but we're just aging it down and up. So I'll get a little bit more, talk about more like self-portrait things and like the methods that she used. I'm also doing Katherine Johnson, who actually passed away today, which is really sad.
Yeah, I saw that, yes.
And so with her, I'm going to be doing a computer programming segment.
Nice.
I'm doing Edith Clark, who worked with electricity, so I'm doing electrical circuits. And then Mae Jameson, our astronaut, I'm doing rocket launchers for that one.
Nice.
So yeah, so for the younger ones, it'll be parents helping, and we'll talk briefly about who they are, just exposing them to like who these women, who these incredible women were in history.
Yes.
And then for the older ones, I do expect them to be familiar with these women at that point, but then we can really go into the more like mathematical elements of like doing a rocket launcher and like the computer programming and things like that. So
a lot of
that should be
hands-on
really fun.
stuff going to be
Yes,
taking place
definitely.
as part of that. A great way to connect there
Yeah.
and get those young minds focused in as far as with the great topics and the great women that you're talking about right there to bring that there. So staying sort of on a younger theme here, She Did What? I know was the question, exclamation point there, but celebrating Women's History Month, again, focused on sort of the younger demographic there, correct?
Yes, K through 5th
Okay.
grades right there. Yeah.
And what about with that one? How are you bringing in play with that particular event?
So we're doing kind of the similar thing with the preschool Fridays. We're doing just talking about different women, what
Right.
they did, doing activities based on what the fields that they worked in, that kind of thing. So,
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. Again, a great way to kind of bring out the theme and again introduce people to some of the women in American and I guess international history as well that perhaps have made their mark and really have made a difference as far as in the world we live in today. Ladies' Night Out, so we're going to age it up a little bit here. Super Mario Party there. Angie, you want to jump in and talk about that? Adults age 18 plus. So
Yes,
Yes.
so this is a new program we're offering. It's Ladies' Night Out, 18 and up, so it is for adults. It's registration required because we are providing equipment, so we need to make sure we have enough so everyone can have a good time.
Right.
This is just a way for women to come together who enjoy gaming in a fun, safe environment
Right.
and just share a love for gaming.
Right.
And this one is themed Super Mario.
Okay.
So expect Mario-related games to
tied
be
in, yes,
going on.
I got it.
We'll also be discussing topics surrounding women and geek culture.
Nice.
So just a great informal, casual meetup for women who love gaming. And that will be on Wednesday, March 18th at 6 o'clock to 7:30 at North Suffolk Library.
Suffolk Library, very good. And then Road to IconiCon. So I know we talked about IconiCon in the first segment, but again, we're not quite there yet with what we're talking about here. So talk about how you are connecting that with some pub trivia.
Yes. Well, it actually would tie into the Ladies' Night Out too. Anyone who loves gaming. So if you really want to, get prepared for IconiCon,
Yes.
come to Ladies' Night Out and
Right.
then come to pub trivia. That one is also ages 18 and up.
Okay.
We'll be at the Nansemond Brewing Station.
Okay.
We do pub trivia there pretty frequently. Probably average about once a month.
Right.
Different themes. It's a really great time for people to come together and just test their knowledge on different topics. Even if
friendly
they don't,
competition, right?
Friendly
Yeah, right, right,
competition.
right.
There are prizes on the line though, so.
Well, maybe a little
Get
more
you-
cutthroat depending
Yeah.
on circumstances. I understand.
So this one is focusing on girl power.
Okay.
So we're kind of meshing together Women's History Month with, fandoms and nerd culture.
Sure.
So expect questions relating to females in different nerd genres, maybe books and video games, movies. Think Hermione, Katniss,
Got
Wonder Woman.
Right.
Do some studying,
Okay.
read some books,
Right,
watch some
right.
movies.
Pop culture infusion there, right? Yeah.
So the winning team will win a 4-pack of movie tickets. There are quite a few upcoming movies coming out, like Mulan
Right.
and
Black Widow movie. The Black Widow.
the Black Widow movie, Wonder Woman, the 80s. Yep.
Right.
So we have a lot of good girl power
That's
movies
right.
coming up. So you can put those tickets to good use.
Good use, that's right.
And then we also have a costume contest. So show up in costume and you could win another prize.
Very nice, very nice. And again, that is coming up on Friday, March 20th, and that'll be at the Nansemond Brewing Station. So we're
Correct.
taking that one on the road a little bit.
Yes.
So there we go. And then also Suffolk Public Library is going to do a collaboration with the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts to present an event that ties into with someone who does a local podcast. Is that correct?
So a Virginia podcast.
Virginia
so it's
podcast, okay.
the name of the event is True Crime from Virginia's Past, and it will be on March 25th at 6:30 to 7:30 at the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts.
Okay.
So we're bringing in true crime podcaster Jenny Poor. She has a podcast called Vile Virginia, and she's going to be sharing some haunting stories from Virginia's past.
Cool.
She has a true crime and history storytelling podcast. And according to her platform, it pokes fun at the dark underbelly of the Commonwealth of Virginia. So expect some spooky, interesting
Right.
stories from our state.
Very good, very good. So again, this sort of the tip of the iceberg as far as some of the events that are going to be taking place. And also, sort of shifting gears just a slight little bit, the library is also going to be giving away some books as part of another drawing or whatever
Yes.
going on with that. So talk a little bit about that and how people can take part.
So it's part of our year-long initiative,
Right.
which we've called See You at the Library. Again, with the themes.
Right.
Each month we are focusing on a different theme.
Yes.
So tying into Women's History Month for March, but each month has a different theme. And each month we're doing a drawing, not necessarily relating to the theme, but
Okay.
we have
Got
a
it.
drawing each month.
Right.
If you go to any of our library locations, there's a See You at the Library display there that's up year-round. It has a lot of different books to theme that you could check out. Maybe
Right.
you're looking for another read and you just need a suggestion. Grab something off that title,
Sure.
try something new.
Right.
But in conjunction with that, we have a monthly raffle. So we're really looking to have people submit titles of books they feel connected with, that they feel reflect who they are,
Got it.
who or what their ideas that they share or experiences that they have.
Right.
And so we're collecting those, and then each month we're going to pull a name from
Okay.
those submissions, and then we're also incorporating the titles we get into another display.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
the idea is that
Yeah.
we can visually see a representation of
Understand.
our community
Yes.
and diversity
Yes.
reflected there in book titles.
Yeah, I figured you were taking the information to do something with
Yeah.
it. Yeah. That makes sense what you're doing. So, I mean, I know back in the days when we used to have video stores, people, like you'd have the people that work there's picks and things like that. And I guess it's a great way to get everyone's opinions and thoughts and feelings and get them out there so people can kind of maybe think about things or see things and think that might be something interesting for me to tap into. So I think I'm assuming that's what your angle was.
Yes.
If not, I just made something up. So.
That sounds good.
Yeah, right. Sounds great. We roll with that. So March 2020, Women's History Month, Suffolk Public Library, are a lot of events connected to that, and a great way to bring that theme really making you think really year-round as well. But again, I know the library does a great job of taking in some instances, not with Women's History Month certainly, but a little small idea, and then really making it into something that the community can really get a hold of and take part in. And I think it's great that Women's History Month is your topic or your focal point, I should say, for the month of March, as far as to bring that up both with the children's events and some of the adult events you have coming in there. And I would think, let me ask you this, when it comes to a theme, how does the library work about putting all these events together and thinking about it's got to be a team collaboration. It's not just one person sitting around, I'm going to come up with this. But I mean, everybody works together. It seems like it's a really group approach to kind of do this and really play on the strengths of the staff that you have, because you have a very diverse staff as far as with their backgrounds and their interests. And I think it really comes out in a lot of the events that we see that the library is doing. Is that a safe way to kind of put that together?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. It's
Yeah.
definitely a team effort, and we all work together and help
Right.
each other out. And
Right.
themes, I think, help inspire
Yes.
Yeah.
directions for different events and classes that we do.
And I think you see that also with the staff as far as with the passions that they have for different themes or ideas or just perspectives on things as far as to bring that out. And I think that's a great way to kind of expand the community and get people to come into the library to take part in that. Also participate in all the great online offerings that you have. And certainly would encourage you, if you haven't been to the Suffolk Public Library's website recently, check it out. They have a great calendar talking about, it's really kind of, it's chock full of stuff. Quite frankly, there's things going on pretty much every day of the week, and a lot of different offerings for people from all different ages and backgrounds and whatever. And again, a great chance to expose yourself to different things as well. We talked about IconiCon in the first segment, and again, if you haven't participated in that before, hey, great opportunity to go out there and do that. But Women's History Month, another great way to tie it in with the community and events, again, for people of all ages to do that, and also partnering with the Suffolk Center as far as to offer the other event that you talked about as well. So I want to thank you both for your time today.
Thank
Again,
you.
visit the Suffolk Public Library website, but more importantly, visit one of the Suffolk Public Library locations and some of the great events that we've been talking about. So again, March is not the only month to do that, but certainly celebrating Women's History Month, courtesy of the Suffolk Public Library. Ladies, thanks for being with us again today. That will do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.